Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's go. So I have gathered all the ladies here, okay, and we're just going to speak from here. So Cynthia on the Nashville trip had gone to bed before the pool party situation started. So now we're back in Atlanta. She's checking in with the ladies about what happened. So Shamia and Kelly let her know that there was mention of Charles having an outside baby. And Shamia read her the text message from Angela talking about how the women disrespected her and her husband. Even though this is supposed to be a sisterhood, be blessed. Then she met with Angela and finds out that Porsha said that she would want to sleep with her husband if she doesn't leave her alone. Then when she goes to meet with Porsha, of course Porsha says she doesn't remember anything. And of course she would not sleep with anyone's husband. She doesn't know anything about Charles. And that was it. Then we go on to the next thing. So Cynthia let Shamia and Kelly know that she's going to have her Bailey Q for Juneteenth. And she's going to have a profit there. She does not want to set the girls back any further. So this should be good. In the next scene, we have Cha-Cha's birthday, right? That's Kelly's dog. So everybody's coming to the dog birthday party. Not everybody, but most of the girls. And then Britt shows up. So we find out a little bit more about Britt. Her mother is moving in with her in about 30 days. She has reconnected with her sisters. And she said that what happened with her and her sisters happened when she met Mike and she sold her company. You know, a lot of people saying she's not a girl's girl because she just let it all go when she met Mike. But it is what it is. So Porsha has come over to her mother's house to bring PJ a dog because she said PJ is at the age where she's asking for a sibling, so she gave her a dog. And then her mom and Lauren get to talking about the Nashville trip. They talk about how much fun it was, and then they get into the pool party. So she explains to her mother and Lauren how the Nashville trip turned bad. She said that she had got a phone call that Dennis was filming with Drew. And then she was like, she and Dennis are not really in a good place right now because she just wants Dennis to choose her and Pilar. She said they're good co-parents. That means he's choosing Pilar. At this point, and even to this live moment, Porsha, you're still married. Dennis only has to choose Pilar. It doesn't matter who he films with. That's just what I think. Y'all let me know what you think. Then when she gets to talking about Angela, listening from her room, she was like, Angela comes downstairs. And then she said she heard me say something about something I would do to her husband. Tell your mama and your sister, well, they know now after they've watched the episode, that you said you would sleep with that woman's husband if she don't stop it. Not, she said something about doing something to her husband. Okay. So Porsha is forgetting about sleeping with Charles. She's focusing on the fact that Angela said somebody called her Big Bird. And she wants to be a little petty. I really can't believe Porsha right now. It's funny, but I can't believe her. So we meet Asha. She is a potential surrogate for Shamia and Gerald. Asha does have some children. She's not in a relationship. That is a very important thing because they was like, let us know because he has to be tested like she has been tested. And they're waiting for just a few more things and then they can get started with the process. Shamia is 10 toes down to have this baby. And she did say, you know, let it be good because I don't think I can handle anything else. So if this happens, I hope it works for her. So we'll see in due time. So we get to Angela and Charles, right? So she wants to tell him about Nashville. She said, I called you. He said, I was in Tampa. What is in Tampa? But at the same time, didn't she say she was on the phone with her husband at 2:30 in the morning? So did she talk to him? Because it doesn't sound like she talked to him. Because she was like, I called you. And he was like, I was in Tampa. So you don't answer your phone in Tampa? So Angela gets into what Porsha had said about her and the other girls said about her and what she heard in the streets. Charles is like, first of all, you're wrong for inviting someone who was not invited when you were invited. That's not something I would do. Then something came up about him having a girlfriend in New York. He did not say, no, that's not true. He just tilted his head. And then she got to talking about how you must be so easy to sleep with. Porsha said she could sleep with you. He was like, no, she can't do that. People will just take anything. Charles, in my mind, he's just a little too nonchalant for me. You know what I'm saying? A little too nonchalant for my comfort level. So Porsha is back at her mother's house. Dennis is coming over. She has found a nanny from Africa, and the nanny is going to live with her and go back and forth between her house and Dennis's house with Pilar. So that's that. So Porsha is sitting here with Dennis, talking to him about Drew, about filming with Drew. And he said he had just gone to the studio, cameras were there, and then Drew came into the session. And we saw that happen on the show. And then she brought up him sleeping with Drew. And she read the text. He was like, that wasn't me. So clearly the text was about something else. So did it seem to you like Porsha made up this whole storyline about Drew sleeping with Dennis, filming with Dennis? Because all of a sudden, she's over it. So we shouldn't hear anything else about it. But did that not sound strange to you? It sounded like it was all made up, and now that Dennis is here to clarify it, I'm done. Let me know what you think about that. So now we're here with Britt and her mother and her sister and her grandmother. And they are packing her mother's home because she's moving in with Britt. And her sister is having a really hard time because she's still grieving. She's still emotional. She doesn't like the fact that her mom is selling the house where her dad was. And from her mother's standpoint, their father didn't even live in the house for a year. So she's crying. Then they call the other sister on the phone. She's not here, but she's very distant from the other girls. That's how she's handling her grief. So it's like they're just all disconnected. Then the grandmama, who is the star of this particular scene, is who I want to see. Because she came in and said, look, I'm the grandmama. Y'all are tripping. It's too loud in here and y'all talking way too much. Chill out. But her sister that's there, she is really having a hard time. So I would like to see Britt and her really form a good relationship on the show. That would be nice to see. So we're at the Bailey queue, and there's a prophet there, and Britt is the first one there. We find out that she has a shapewear and lingerie line called Bare and Naked. That's the first time we've heard about that. So that's good. So the prophet is telling Kelly about the car that her husband sold that he gave her for their 10th anniversary. She said, I only told Britt that. Shamil walks in all adorned as if she isn't coming to America. And I don't know, why is she always dancing? But she did tickle me when she said, you're not going to invite me to a Juneteenth ceremony and I'm not going to wear my African clothes. Shout out to my girl, Sierra Glam Shop. Sierra is in here catering the food. Did you see, what is it? Ghetto Girl seasoning over there. They had little Ghetto Girl seasoning bags. Sierra was in the kitchen. The prophet tells Angela that maybe she's lost her sexy and she's gotten too comfortable around the house. And Angela's like, let me, call Victoria's Secret. And then she says Charles' love language is cleaning up the house, right? Because the bang bang doesn't last forever. I mean, at this point, it should still be lasting. Let me tell you something. You may have taken the girls out of Coyote Ugly, but you have not taken Coyote Ugly out of the girls. Because Kelly, Britt, and Cynthia over there doing shots off the table. Like, Kelly is a pro at this point. Child, Drew has come in here late, and the prophet says she's going to talk to her in private because Drew doesn't want to share. Drew, you don't have to share. Great value. Angela will forever be remembered for saying that Britt has miles on her mouth. Like, that is iconic. Cynthia pulls these two out to go to the room to talk They end up hugging it out, but Porsha didn't cop to anything. And these two worked it out.